Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. What we're going to show today is how to build a block wall, basically. Also, I'm going to do a little live action on here. I'm going to really break down the footing design that we have from the building department of Long Beach. Now here's your leads going in on both ends. Well, this is one end. The other end's going to get the same treatment. And then we're going to pull lines. I've got my mason team here. Whenever I get a wall that's like this, longer, and I'm doing a lot of other things on the project, I'll bring in some help. And this is the way we're starting this out. Okay, so basically about the specs for this particular wall: 6 foot 6 inches high. We're doing a footing type that is 9 inches deep, 26 inches wide, and it's 5 inches below natural grade. So that means we're going to bury the footing with dirt. You can still do things over the top of it without having to break the footing out, which is always a plus. So what we're going to do, and they've already started here. Oh yeah, we've got verticals every 2 foot, ½ inch. We've got one horizontal number 4 in the footing, and we're going to have 2 more horizontal number 4s going in the wall. We're gonna have one at 4 foot 6. We're gonna have another one at it's about 6 foot. We're gonna have another bar, the top course. And those are gonna be bond beams wrapped in concrete, and the concrete's gonna go vertically on every one of these ½ inchers. These will be extended up. We've got 2 foot overlap on every bar, and what we're gonna do is build a lead. We'll build a lead here. We'll build a lead there. It's a 60-foot wall, so you don't need a center lead at all. You just need the 2 ends, pull the line the whole way. And that's what the pros are gonna do. I'm just gonna be here digging trenches, putting some drains in, and whatever I can find to do. That's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for finished product. So here's your other lead on the other end. He'll build up this a few courses, and he'll pull lines all the way down. He plumbs up these blocks too. That way, if both sides are plumb, and then you pull a line down, you're building your wall, vertically plumb.
You're live.
All right, another little detail I wanted to show you here about grouting a wall that has steel in it. When you have horizontal and verticals, how do you keep the concrete from going in the entire wall? And the way you do that is you have grout stop at your bond beams, and then also on these verticals. You can't have any of these open.
Put it over the rebar. Give them an example.
Now if this block was here, for instance, well, actually it would be here. If this block were to be used at this point on this vertical, you'd have a problem, because as the concrete dropped, it would come out here, and now you got a solid grouted wall. In reality, you only want concrete where the steel is. And that's the way these are designed. So you don't want to use these where your vertical steel is. That's how you keep the concrete to go where you want it to go. Grout stop and solid block on your verticals. All right, I'll keep you informed of some more details as we go through this. As I was saying about those blocks with the open holes on them, you don't want those on your courses of steel, other than where your horizontals are going to go. You want them where your horizontals go, but not anywhere else. So as I have my crew building up the block, I'm also backfilling, because I wet set this the previous day, as you could see in my previous video of part 6 series. So you notice how these blocks are laid out. There is an actual top and bottom to every block. It doesn't look like it, initially, but there really is. There's a rough side, then there's a nice straight side. So the good clean side of a block you always want up. So when you're laying them out, your tenders are laying them out, you want them to be laid out exactly the same pattern from where you're laying. So when you butter up the head joints and get ready to drop them, it's one motion every time. It's the same motion, and that's what makes an assembly line. And that's what we have here, a fine-tuned assembly line. Now these guys that are doing this block, well, I've known about 25 years. I know the father, of course, and then he's got his two sons here, and they've been doing it. Well, he did it for my father, and now he's doing it for me. He's still doing it for my father on different jobs. This is a big family operation, basically. I have two brothers. I have my dad that's still doing it, and we all do our own thing. Although my youngest brother still works for my dad. He's the only one, but he's the youngest, so he's still learning. There's the grout stop, as you can see there. And we've got two horizontal bond beams running through this wall according to the specs, and that's how we build it. We got one at mid wall height, and then we got one at the top. So there's a lot of steel in this thing. Every 2 foot on center, and then you've got one horizontal at mid going all the way, and then you got another horizontal at top, and it's all 1/2 inch. So here's your mid wall. See how you got the broken out ones right there? That's your verticals that are going to be dropped in later. I already have them stubbed up from the bottom, of course, with a 2 foot overlap. Now, anytime you hang something vertically from the top, due to gravity, the nature of gravity, it hangs plumb when it's suspended by one point. So, tying the bottom isn't really necessary if the nature of gravity, is true. You can see the bond beams going in right there. That's your mid wall height, horizontal bond beam right there. It has steel all the way through, and concrete around that steel all the way down. Now this is just 40 grade, number 4. It's not the 60 like I used on the slab. But this is what it calls for here in this particular situation. You can go above. I'm sure no one's going to mind, but we're going to stick to the basic fundamentals here. Now you can't see any verticals at this point. However, they are there. We know where they are because they're at 2 foot centers, and we've also have a mark on the outside of the wall that we penciled in just to make sure we remember where they are without having to use a flashlight to look down the cells. Now this particular block that I'm using here is just a natural gray precision. It's a 6816, and it's made by Orco. In my area they got Orco, they have DeAngelis, also Quikrete makes some block, which I just recently found out about, and Home Depot carries Quikrete block as well. Now you can see those pencil marks there on the wall. Those represent my verts. I'm just using a basic bag mix mortar. I'm not throwing any lime, anything special, no sand. It's just add water and mix it. Although you can make some nice custom, really sticky mixes that work really well. May not be as high PSI, but you can throw lime in there. You can throw some sand and some plastic cement, make your own blends. But if you go with the bag mix, you know that what the bag says is what you should get, and it takes out a lot of the guesswork. May be a little bit harder to work with than your custom blend, but it's going to definitely meet the specs. So there goes the verticals dropped in, only tied at the top. But since they're tied at the top, they hang plumb due to the nature of where we live. Now, if you really want to get really trick on this stuff, you could use open enders, open end blocks, and tie everything ahead of time. And then with open end blocks, you could just set around them. You could even throw a mud sill at the bottom so you have no water going through the bottom where the block meets the concrete. Mud sill, that's rubber. That's half in the footing, half up into the grout line, but it's not really needed here. That's a nice scaffolding system right there. Makes it so much easier than having to reach up over your head with a heavy block. It can be done, but it's hard, and it's harder to make it nice and straight. Now the top cap are 18 inch, everything else is 16, and that's just the way they make them. I have no idea why. I mean, it should be all 16s, but that's just not the way it's done. They got 18s and they got 6 caps are 18s, everything else is 16. So all your courses don't really line up with that top cap. Just something I would probably notice. I mean, technically no one else is going to really see it probably, but I like everything to be straight all the way up the wall. And there it is, man. Now all we have to do is get the sign off on the permit. So we had to go through 3 permit process. We had to go footing, we had to go pre-grout inspection, then we had to go final. So we had 3 inspections, which, you know, were tricky to get because we had a lot of delays and stuff and no-shows and things, but we got it done. Anyway, thanks for watching the video and stay tuned.